She thought marrying him would destroy his empire, but destiny had other plans. What started as revenge turned into a war between heart and hate, until love rewrote every lie. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more shocking billionaire romance stories that will make you cry, gasp, and believe in miracles again. Heartbreak. The night was silent, yet her heart thundered like a storm trapped in a crystal cage. Alina Raymond, the daughter of a fallen tycoon, stood before the mirror in a gown worth more than her father's ruined legacy. Her eyes shimmered not with joy but with vengeance, cold, bright, and determined. She wasn't marrying Adrian Blackwood, the ruthless billionaire CEO of Blackwood Enterprises, out of love. She was marrying him to ruin him, the man she believed had destroyed her father's company, forced her family into bankruptcy, and driven her father to his grave. Her trembling hands adjusted the diamond necklace, his wedding gift, the same diamonds her father once dreamed of buying for her mother. But tonight, those diamonds symbolized chains, binding her to her enemy. The grand wedding at the St. Louis Cathedral dazzled every media outlet. Cinderella marries the king of finance. No one knew that behind her poised smile was a vow to destroy him from within. When Adrian took her hand during the vows, his dark gray eyes scanned her face, calm, unreadable, yet hiding storms of his own. "Do you take this man?" the priest asked. "I do," she said, her voice soft but her heart screaming I don't. From that day, her mission began. She started working quietly, pretending to be the perfect wife, elegant, graceful, loyal, but behind closed doors, she was digging through his files, passwords, and secrets. Her father's company, Raymond Technologies, had been devoured by Blackwood's firm 5 years ago in a hostile takeover, leaving her family destitute. Her father had died from a heart attack that very night, clutching the letter of bankruptcy. Every night since, Alina had dreamed of revenge, and now she had the keys to his kingdom. Yet, the man she expected to be a monster wasn't what she imagined. Adrian didn't flaunt his wealth arrogantly, he moved through their mansion like a ghost, distant, quiet, carrying his own burden. He never shouted, never insulted her, and strangely, never touched her. He gave her freedom, luxury, but never love. That should have made it easier for her to hate him, yet somehow, it made things harder. One rainy night, she sneaked into his private study, where all his secrets lived. She found files about her father's company, the merger, the bank transactions. But what she read shattered her world. It wasn't Adrian who destroyed her father, it was her father's business partner, Marcus Hale, who had secretly sold the company's patents to a rival firm. Adrian had only bought the company's remains legally, to prevent a complete collapse. He'd even offered her father a job afterward, but the old man's pride refused. Alina's hands trembled as tears blurred her vision. Everything she believed was a lie. The man she vowed to destroy had tried to save them. Before she could process this truth, the door opened. Adrian stood there, rain dripping from his coat, eyes filled with exhaustion. "Looking for something, Mrs. Blackwood." His voice was calm, but there was something broken in it. She froze. The silence between them cracked like lightning. She expected anger, punishment, but instead, he walked to his desk, poured himself a drink, and whispered, "You hate me because you think I took everything from you. Maybe I did, indirectly. But you never asked why I stayed single for years until I met you." His words confused her. "Because I fell in love with a girl at a charity event long ago, a girl who wore a cheap white dress and helped a crying orphan smile. That girl was you, Alina." Her heart stopped. He'd known her before the revenge even began. He'd loved her before the hate took root. From that night, her hatred began to melt, replaced by guilt and confusion. She started noticing his small kindnesses, how he helped his employees secretly, how he funded orphanages under fake names, how he stayed up late staring at an old photo of a woman who looked like his mother. Slowly, she began falling for the man she once despised. But fate wasn't done playing cruel games. Just when she wanted to confess the truth, that she married him for revenge, she found out Adrian was terminally ill. A rare heart condition he had hidden for years. The medication she'd once seen in his drawer, she thought it was for anxiety, was actually for pain management. He had less than a year to live. That revelation broke her. The man she'd planned to destroy was dying silently, never asking for pity, never letting anyone see his weakness. Determined to make his final days happy, Alina changed completely. She cooked his favorite meals, planned small trips, even painted the garden house he used to love as a child. Adrian noticed her transformation but said nothing, just smiled faintly whenever she held his hand. Love grew between them quietly, beautifully, tragically. Then one night, he collapsed in her arms. Rushed to the hospital, he was declared critical. As she begged the doctor to save him, Marcus Hale, the real villain, appeared out of nowhere, blackmailing her to sign away Adrian's last shares in the company in exchange for a secret cure trial. Desperate, Alina agreed. She signed every document Marcus pushed forward. But Marcus betrayed her again. He wasn't funding any cure. He only wanted to take Blackwood Enterprises for himself. When Adrian woke, weak and pale, he saw the headlines, Mrs. Blackwood transfers entire estate. He thought she betrayed him. His heart couldn't bear it. Tears streaming, Alina tried to explain, but Adrian turned away. Maybe I deserved this, he whispered faintly, for hurting your father, even if it wasn't my fault. Then, his monitors flatlined. Alina screamed as doctors pulled her away, the sound of the heart monitor echoing like the death of her soul. For 3 days, she didn't eat or sleep, sitting by his hospital bed. And then, a miracle happened. The new medicine she had unknowingly signed for, the trial Marcus mentioned, was real after all, but not through him. It came from one of Adrian's hidden charities that she herself had activated through a signature she never realized mattered. That signature saved him. Adrian lived. When he awoke, weak but alive, he found Alina asleep beside his bed, clutching his hand. Her wedding ring gleamed softly under the pale light. For the first time, he saw the guilt and love in her eyes as she whispered through tears, I married you to destroy you, but you saved me instead. Adrian's eyes filled with tears. He touched her face gently. Then we're both guilty of loving the wrong way. Their lips met, not out of passion, but forgiveness, the kind that heals souls. But their peace didn't last long. Marcus Hale returned, furious that his plan had failed. He tried to threaten them again, exposing Alina's original motive to the media. Overnight, the world turned against her. Headlines called her the gold digger wife. Paparazzi flooded their gates. Yet Adrian, frail but fierce, held a press conference and publicly defended her, revealing everything, how she'd been misled, how she'd saved his life, and how she'd brought him back from the brink of darkness. His confession turned the tide. The world now saw not a betrayer but a woman who had turned revenge into redemption. Months later, when Adrian's health improved, they returned to the old Raymond estate, the house her father built. Adrian restored it entirely and placed a sign outside, Raymond Blackwood Foundation, for families who lost everything. Alina stood there, tears glistening in her eyes, as Adrian wrapped his arms around her. We can't change how our story began, he whispered, but we can choose how it ends. The wind carried their laughter across the rebuilt garden, where once pain had bloomed. Their love, born from ashes of hate, became a testament that sometimes, revenge leads you to your destiny. But the biggest twist came years later. One rainy night, a letter arrived addressed to Alina, written in her father's handwriting. Inside was the truth. Her father had known Adrian was innocent all along. Before dying, he wrote that he wished Alina could find peace with the man who once tried to save him. Adrian read the letter silently, then smiled through tears. Looks like your father gave us his blessing, from heaven. Alina cried in his arms, realizing that life had completed a circle, from hatred to forgiveness, from revenge to love, from death to rebirth. In the final scene, Adrian and Alina sat hand in hand, watching the sunset over the ocean, surrounded by the children they'd adopted from Adrian's old orphanage, the same one where he'd once seen her years ago. Their eyes met. No words, just peace. Because sometimes, the greatest revenge is not destruction, but healing. As the camera faded to black, her voice echoed softly, I married him for revenge, but he taught me the meaning of love. Heart.